so waje so na watimi aba studio so amaye Andra mahu pages no edoso it took the finance minister about close to 1 hour and over kakra ana watimi ede sa statement ede my but section of it and pay ye be fan sector by sector na yetimi ahwese yebekomu na yetimi ede nkomo they are buying a reduce with the macroeconomic indicators the growth rate revenues will project here in the 2022 budget and due to challenges we are buying ahwese want me achieving in ano and pay ye baba bedi and ho enkomo plus other things in terms of expenditure and so ye bedi in ho enkomo surely na afi yetimi ahwe but maminti horrible in about 2 minutes Andra event course or parliament your view any observation and with me a make here na afi yentwaso any nkomo
yo Nana
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, now you are the speaker. But that's it. Mama Sanso and Chia a cheer for you. I'm Chia constituency for.
Okay.
But now had also the Chiano at the call more. Party executives in the Chamina and the pay Michacho Munina. Yo, opening Bidasi. And that the course of parliament, if it's you to say okay, a budget review statement. It took the finance minister, I think more than 30 to 40 minutes.
Yes, so. Almost an hour.
Yes,
and over.
Sana or Timidis message we Edemaya. Now it was a very welcome statement.
Okay,
and we are sure, sir, most Ghanaians were not expecting. Angela finance minister take we share the global economic crisis you wom ya na otimi bar out because budget deficit percentage mateso obi enu say ba be kase o ye be call be 15% said ye call 2020 ni ADNB but also mateso it tells you say the expenditure and the physical discipline yadi atuna kwemu no eno na betimi akoso enti on the over me 2 minutes in summary no make like I say the presentation was very splendid and was surprising most expectations naga for expecting say the baby blue budget we are come to ask for additional expenditure our money sika bi me spend yes no or see expenditure no crown why dey asanto atiso my budget deficit in the Quran okay. He was very frank and truthful. Okay, no also with this Ukraine war and other things, your growth rate here project here, yeah, they beat me.
Okay.
Until you enter that 3.7. If you say, I mean, that's said it all. Okay. Was also my assurance. Or admitting we are in economic crisis. So in the next 2.5 years, we are going to come out of this wound. Yeah, you be paying. Yeah, maybe ending for IMF if you hold more. So it require you almost so sounds me as we need acquire a bit about out in the next 2.5 years.
Interesting. But the dynamics, as you put it, and as the finance minister and Bra will put it, especially being so say, picture a very blur issues HS and Bra statement finance minister can challenges that's what challenges I always say in the next 6 months aka ma afia ba na wie no nya dia betimi aso ano sesia se emwa bi kura no betimi aba as I say expectation a year the first quarter of 2023 because we share indicators now macroeconomic indicators now it tells you clearly and mamemo bobi so to say the we share here economic growth rate na more expect say anka fin ko na wie ye sika sem ye niema ye bibia according to our GDP in comparison anka betimi grow by 5.8%. Now sir vision ana ni so ade no sisudua na modisi mani so aban de si na ni so no and they were releasing at the above and to say was the expectation Ghana for expectancy to grow by some 3.7%, which are indicators now. Then again over a year estimated deficit the difference between revenue generating and then expenditure will be to me and make it definitely no your expenditure no is always higher than your revenue you're generating. And in terms of revenue, a buy project is and 2022 no obey me and some 100.5 million Ghana cedis. Say a buy say what so at the aba somewhere around 96 million, and then a big go. So now OSHA expenditure rate around a year estimated 137.5 billion Ghana cedis. No, a buy say what so at the about 135 billion Ghana cedis. And to these are key indicators telling us clearly say a buying susuye any nisika semuno and near ma mususuye ni na no afraid would be a buffer because the na mo expect no munti me emiti.
Yo, but that's it. Let me say, medical boss. He's just being frank. I don't know whether the other proposers now more canon. Are they arguing say that 3.7 GDP growth and we can't achieve it? And I was looking for the growth that we achieved for the first quarter.
Okay,
around 3.3 or so from the monetary policy report.
Okay.
So if he is estimating 3.7 down from 5.8, I'm sure say quite achievable. But my entry adrenaline and could be so. In the short term, what the can say, hey, guy, into me and yet much because you anticipating say probably the next the first quarter of 2022.
Yeah.
But Tima, your woman situation, your woman. Opening and yes, before the Ukraine war. Let's look at our performance. No man is equal. The biggest challenge, I will say it, and I'll say it anywhere, is your credit rating agency, international credit rating agencies.
Okay.
Somewhere February, March, but downgrade year no. You were adequate reserves or no. Sure, you move from COVID period. You recorded 0.5 growth. In 2020, 2021, we were about 4 something, well above the sub-Saharan Africa countries.
Okay,
you're building reserves almost 10 billion. I bit my cover almost 5 to 6 months cover. Right. The international credit rating problem is say you anticipate say you better pass e-levy. To say e-levy no, Madia. E-levy is making provision of almost 6.9 billion. That is about $1 billion.
Yeah.
Amadia, let us say we'll have issues about credit risk. What is credit risk? It's your inability to fulfill your payment when it is due. Mutimi accept say ampa your adequate reserves ever hormone. Basi yakasi ditria your debt a bit metria. Then you can create panic in the situation. Say no. Because the man passing e-levy, there will be a gap, and therefore Ghana should be downgraded. Now, yes, sir, at the way. I'm downgraded, yeah, the creative panic. If you look at our trade surplus, any finance and the capital accounter, they might call down because of the net outflow of investment. And the investors are almost born, they mature, they have to do what they have to do. In a my deputy the reserves no now my yentimi in yasa lower reserve position. It wasn't say actually the results reserves a deputy out of speculation. Now yetimi take you but we are going to IMF no because opening you're making so much gains for the past 5 years. Look at BB better interest rate. Look at BB better inflation. Look at BB better GDP and reserves. Almost every 10 a no, yet me the normal bad down to favorable condition and this is for power pay. Now I say near that bad down. Maybe a call, they just say we are on track. Right. Now yet me I improvement when in the macroeconomic indicators no. I just say we have the good managers in the economy. Yes, I know. So there's no doubt. Credit rating agencies, down.
Yeah, but credit rating agencies, show books, show debt sustainability. Bosi awo boy, kwanya awo faso awo service interest, what principal no sika botre na waje no interest. wutia wo ekwan a wo befa so a wo beye, and then even the cost of doing that wo share we see the depreciation any wo factors are about on interest rate. Now all these things factors are warnings were there, so the rate at which sa money nyina no grow no it bringing us into the negatives, and ma investors per se ba no wo nya attracted to us because the nays wo bob see a western rate we see carnival depreciate and all of that. Then definitely you would have to look out for all these things, but still more can say about air born home day they are not rating agencies at some point the finance minister, the deputy finance minister responded say the afraid for Bloomberg the omokaye must say to this occasion it's a bad saying here yababe this point, and now we put the blame on them say when we downgrading and our investors echo
Kessben. Yes, like I was saying, we share bold decision take case IMF now. We've made so much gains. Gains, see a trauma in night to me a road to pay. A be affect me. Share our macroeconomic indicators around March. Just this year, March. It was so favorable. 91 day trading treasury bill 12.something%, inflation 12.something%, the exchange rates are then depreciated by less than 5%. From April, May to July, inflation is now 29 or so percent. Interest rate the same thing, policy rate the same thing. The cedi depreciation is over 15.6% from April to date. Right. These are gains yet you struggle and make it from the past 5 years. Are we sitting down for us to lose all these gains? And therefore, also it means some macroeconomic stability be since you announced you call IMF. Have you seen some economic stability in the environment? Yes. Anything I made sure I would say they were all speculations.
No, but how can that be? Yes, how can that be speculation? Because yes, it's IMF in 2018. In 2018, no, even in 2017, after some mobile, more extended by another year. In 2018, IMF ensures your financial discipline, fiscal discipline was there. It's expenditure and you were measured by the conditionalities are not a border on the IMF program. Now from 2019, at the basic 2020, COVID is here. Expenditure ni mu bia mo ye bia no ekosro 2021 almost the same. The warnings were there. People were telling you say the rate at which are buying air spending at the year into this ditch ye fine ye hono, but you still say those were just projections. It was a negative projection for Ghana. It's international rating agencies anami abedu baby ayedri.
Yes, they are a major contributing factor.
I see.
Because don't let us go back for COVID. For us, we were almost out of the wounds of COVID. We share your performance now. We were out of the wound. There were very good tangential rate. We were growing the economy. No doubt about it. Even the finance minister admitted it's fine. The loan to GDP ratio is 76.6%. Right. But have we defaulted before? As a Ghana, as a nation, we have not. So if you come into the picture and indicate to globally that Ghana is likely to not, and therefore blah 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 blah, and that is what created the entire problem. And for me, because the reserve that we had, if you read S&P and the other rating agencies now, they all accepted. Say yes, we are having adequate reserve to cover the next payment of our bond when it is due. So where do you have to create that panic? Because you see, Africa is a time for us to have our own rating agencies than to rely on these international rating agencies, because they also have to understand the dynamics.
You mean to say someone you're credible be about
you see, they must have standard, because 2 or 3 rating agencies were almost not at the same page. Why should it be so? Ghana is the one economy. So whatever S&P and others will say, it should be almost the same. But there were inconsistencies in it. We have borrowed. We've gone to 76.6% of the GDP. What matters is our ability to pay the interest rate and the principal. My question then is, Ghana as a nation, did we default?
In terms of loan payment, any interest payment?
If you have any record, just let me know. It's part of the economic management. Responsibility. Even though we were having some challenges. Kessben. Now, if you want to assess the performance of Ghana, let's isolate the exceptional cases. These are exceptional cases in the performance of MPP, whether we were doing well or not. But you see, I listened to the minority, their press conference, lingering on rules. Let me be very emphatic. Nana Addo Adankwa president cannot fix all the rules in Ghana. We cannot do it.
3 consecutive years are year of rules.
And we have been, in terms of rules infrastructure, very unprecedented. We can ask 50% of the municipalities that we have in this country. Every section you see say road construction is ongoing. But Benny, it cost us almost $900 to $1 million to construct a kilometer of road.
Yes, but Honorable Bibe Catcher say I don't need your case because Muankasa na Muma assurance ne say you design no hydro deal no and they most of this road infrastructure project. And so the assumption and then the expectation of Ghana for no and they say sign hydro deal no ya collateralizing and box sites ne dia. The money has to come in trenches near to me at the year
we published the rules that we're going to use Sino Hydro Funds to do it. It wasn't covering the entire nation. If you have a copy, you can look at that. But the demand for road construction obviously cannot be met. To me, and yet roads, like I'm saying, it's very expensive. And let's bear in mind, in the past, all the road construction that is going on in this country is coming from loans. Our internal generated funds, our tax revenue is not adequate to pay for this capital expenditure. And yet, and the MPP are so.
The more reason Musato right?
Oh, as for the toll,
so more agree say your internally generated funds no and enough say betimi aya kwan ahodo ni bebre and the you cancel road toll no.
At times you also have to look at the people that we are governing, right? And you know the road toll was given us 78 million. Ghana city a year. That is not the issue. The issue is about demand for road construction in the country. And I'm saying, I'm not the finance minister, but I'm saying on authority that we can't meet all the demands.
Because you can't.
Because your tax you the 3-line expenditure, emolument, interest payment, and salary deduction since 2010. We always borrow.
To service that.
3 items. 2010 was 105%. 2014 114%. 2015 124%. 2016 131%. About 2019 123%. 2020 129%. And 2021 147%. It tells you say tax revenue no. So these 3 items intimate cover. This year, any other expenditure outside these 3 items it is either coming from loans or it's coming from grants.
Alright, and only understandable. Ghana ni biati as say every year biano ya budget no yenti me and resist in domestically. The more reason why you're going for it. But I'm saying say your road fund na yeje. Road fund some of it comes from road toll generating enough funds to ensure say akwanya hodo ni nyina and at least yenti me nyina akra na a major chunk of it. But the government says that there be because of traffic in yenyi side in feel. Today we are almost going back to that.
We have to.
We have to go back.
I will say go back because to say the American, go back. We need to change the concept, and the concept is we have to adopt PPP, public-private partnership. Now, and reduce the pressure on government to borrow to construct roads. You call PPP. Nipa no also or pay no transfer.
But why do we have to do PPP? We have to. I buy into me under the gift. the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund. Yeni ankasa yentimi nye automated boot. No cars no ebia would have to pay on monthly basis. And anyhow by card, oko airport there no udu ha what card no oko park here. Depending on the hours ubedi no oko no wakutia. A buyer cannot use the gift fund, some source of money if you hope and ain't me invest we have to go in for a private partner. No be invested no etimi akwa jiji canon no operate no the bia brabai. Is that the best way to
Mr.
go?
Speaker, that is the best option. I'm telling you, that is the best option that for us to go, because South Carolina will say buying fan money, opportunity cost. And opportunity cost. That money could have used to do other infrastructure, other social interventions, and the rest. And apart from the opportunity cost, it has cost implication.
No, but what about the give for social intervention and no sikane mabako.
Gift for now.
Yes.
And for the
especially when you are yet the ato.
It's not part of this 140% I'm making. Gift is part of the statutory transfers. And
yes.
We have to borrow to support it. Are you getting my point? Yes, but we can three line expenditure, a monumental experiment, and statutory deduction. Give now can it's part of the statutory deduction. This is your person remain your tax in Quadia, can give intimate a day, intimate transfers can be alcohol. So we have to go and borrow so much, and it puts so much burden on the government. To borrow to fix road. Private sector, the other advantages apart from cost implication. Say private sector, Obabe pretty. And yet Ghana, if you go to Senegal,
but you try some model and farm.
It has to work.
Previously, the reasons
why didn't work?
Yes, the reasons are tools no a free honor is the fact that a buy expected revenue or pursuing a fall short. The roads minister told us, say revenue na eba from road tolls no enye enough, inadequate. But no a private company na jeje. Wo pretty tolls no afan and crop for no tuo moka. Then government at the end of the day will get their fair share. But the thing again is that say you try some model no all these years with the 36 toll booths na amfa. What are we supposed to do again if we really want to introduce it?
No, we will have to introduce it. One, automation of all the toll booths is one. We should be prepared. Young bomb modern say a bit to the realistic rates. Share President later at Amos.
Kessben.
Or increase it to near 10%. Only for 1 city, 1,000%. Yatina Hodoma is almost 11 years now. So at times it is the political will. Right? NDC by after that, I missed the ANC, they couldn't do anything. Yes, we have almost 5 years now. It's a problem. If you travel outside the country, if you New Jersey, no can hold to Korea, would do to $10. We are not saying say between I'm matching or animal, but currently what we are paying is 1 city. So we should be prepared, say between the realistic rate and the automation. Now you're expanding the number of toll booths that also have across the country. Like I'm saying, if the various government like the political will, let's go to PPP or more invest so much. It costs so much to cut 100-kilometer road. And I'm not sure it's everything the side bed, about to abandon all the time, borrowing here. Here, last week, demonstrations are amount for call across the country. I just sent constituency up in the west. There was demonstration because a stretch of road about 10 kilometers is so bad. Very, very, very bad. Road there, they call the Western Corridor. For several years in 18 years, it is a case the bed in now, but to without shifting some of the responsibility to the private sector now. Opening any your loans now, because every quarter, every section of this country will be a demanding rules. What to say will be a demonstration on the other things like electricity or whatever. But also so the political pressure is there, and we are compelled to borrow to fix some of this road. But I'm telling you, in authority, say Argentina and that we should expect a ballooning figure of our loans.
Interesting. It's a many honorable Dr. Festus and Edin Kombo, Upper West Dentra East, Upper Dentra East, and and I'm in a heading combo. Facher me constituency for the Ebeshime. He's a member of the government and then an NPP member of parliament, bringing us to 31 minutes after 8. And he didn't come more about Andra budget, no, but you're not budget now, so the review of it. Andra, the claim is that finance minister said, projections are in November 2021 against 2022 and no one a year dia kopim say a few back on away. But I bet to differ because in the 2022 budget Abayan capture column, right? Cost of living allowance.
Yes.
And we are told say and no November somewhere around 4 billion Ghana cedis. I'm accepting Binankasa accepted per negotiation. Some move between 15% and the organized labor.
Yes.
And here where is that money coming from? Sasi can if you beba.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable.
Kessben. I can add my preliminary say. This is a very credible minister. He was very bold. Say, me still musica. Sikana mo de ma no, you best spend within that. But you better so, you better your expenditure so. It tells you say going forward, the cost cutting and the physical expenditure discipline,
Okay.
This is it's going to come out of the 135 billion.
It's going to be part of that.
It's going to be part.
Okay.
So obebusa extra money. Na candidate called the new.
But appropriation for the 2022 budget.
Yes.
We ready budget in November. Parliamentarians mo ankasa na mo discuss here and mo debate here. Mo appropriation ministry agencies obia enyane there. Now I'm telling you, sir, the 4 billion Ghana cedis near de babetu cola no. Any part of this budget. Appropriation bia anko for cola. And on whose expenditure, sector by expenditure, and the limit 4 billion nabeshim near media ketafo. The minister didn't tell us clearly, baby as no ebe friaba. In other question, more best spending on the bland side of Ghanaians.
No. Whatever person that we spend will certainly be disclosed in the budget. We'll prepare budget FBB budget rigidity. Right. We have budget that's a very rigid that is
okay.
Fortunately for us, we said we are embarking on cost cutting measures. And I'm about.
Yes.
And our chair was say the deficit that we recorded say you cost 7.4 it's now being reduced to 6.6. And I'm about.
May cross check
it. No, check.
Yes.
In the 2020 budget, 22 budget, we said we're moving from 15 to 7.4%, which was just 2.4% above the threshold of 5%.
Okay.
Yes, per 2024, no, we should be able to get to the 5% deficit of the GDP. That's the stability threshold. This is all chair will say the deficit no 7.4 na ekasi ke be kono kwa eso nje dey metiso at 6.6. That is credible one. And expenditures, all other expenses everybody is going to be absorbed within that expenditure framework now. So a bus I was say you go beyond 6.6 now. If you say finance minister the 9 ACBB so Tino Timi a year bold to say may resume my deficit from 7.4 to 6.6. Otherwise, it could be to be Jano Amanatana 7.4.
Even with that, and not to me possible because as part of this budget review, and Prime Minister Kache say your interest payment, ya interest as I say it also no, and no in the 2022 budget, more project is move to 37,447 Ghana cedis.
And now 41.
Yes, say more project, more pjem, and they call 41,362 Ghana cedis. Now the question again is that the differences between 37 million and 41 million will double up. Deficit, right?
So the finance minister has taken all this into account. Now, what will say the deficit will be 6.6. And I'm not sure there's any issue. Sir, okay, 6.6. No, because in addition to that, your interest rate, your interest expense, is going to move from 37 to 41. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just say he ought to have added up to adjust the deficit of 6.6. But Mami can be bincho. And that now argument.
Okay.
Say, you're moving from 36 billion to 41 billion.
Yes. In terms of payment,
interest of payment.
Okay.
But you see, for the past 2 months, like Mika, interest rate across.
Yes. The minister stated, say,
yes.
Across.
From 12% to 27 to 28 to 29%. But I can't now almost the same triple. And interest rate across and any loans or bank in affect here.
Okay.
Government also borrows from the domestic market. To domestic market interest rate in the cost na loans to interest rate cost. But anticipating of this stability that we have enjoyed, interest rate is likely to reduce marginally. If you use the straight line method, what happened within the second quarter, so all extrapolating, it means that we should expect 41 billion come at the end of the year. But we're anticipating some stability and some decline in the various macroeconomic indicators like inflation, interest rate, and the policy rate. And the exchange rate as well. From January to date, the city has depreciated by 15.6%. And we have almost half of our loans in foreign currency. And exchange rate depreciated by 15.6%. Also, by mathematically, your loan figure grew by half of our loan figure portfolio has grown by 15.6%. Effectively, about 8% of the total loans are because of depreciation of the city.
And when I'm a person, maybe my last question on that. Now, Yemra, the hope review way ready for in terms of Bank of Ghana reserves, dollar reserves. Last week, Mokache said 9 billion, reduce it to 7 billion around the finance committee. Mo chairman, I corrected the figures. Yes, say increase your interest payment to 41 million. How are we going to get the reserves to be able to do that? Because where the can't say your interest payment is in foreign currency. You want less. You want less with the Bank of Ghana. You better more to sustain your interest.
But you have to bear in mind we are not paying the interest rate, additional interest rate now. Where it's being extrapolated to the end of the year.
Okay.
And
bit by bit.
It will be bit by bit. We share trade surplus. I recorded today 20, almost 2 billion. It reduced to 1 billion in 2021. Currently, it has reduced to less than 1 billion.
Okay.
But like I indicated, Sika any support the balance of payment the finance and the capital accounts. You see, but because of the outflow of investment. Now, and the outflow of dividend and profit from the various corporate entities, the capital account and the finance account, equal negative. That's what we are in now. But we are still in business. Balance of payment, we have the gold price also going up. Very soon we will have some significant funds coming to buffer our reserves. And once we have these reserves, you bet me, stabilize the exchange rate, then we will see some level of appreciation in our currency. The additional 4 billion now, a better for that are anticipating on assumption that the current rate of interest will remain. But like I'm indicating, there is some level of stability, and we're anticipating a further decline in the interest rate and the inflation. Because of the pronouncement that we are going to the IMF. At least that physical and policy credibility, and that is what I said. So that was a bold decision by the minister, because to me, all these gains. Now, the impact will be so much. So within 2 months, should be pre interest rate just imagine say a jai for the next six months. What will happen to the exchange rate? What will happen to the policy rate inflation? We can't survive as a country. So I see our decision to go to IMF as a very good the direction. So at least to protect the gains that we have made.
But hope now a was a review way more for a ready for 81 pay Makola 40 KJT 40 Oko a year Cape Coast Kotokraba 40 Takrade Market Circle 40 hope no under this budget review, because before this review Nagana Fuakachos and Niememu day. Times are tough, and then we share the food and then prices are cost near the does this review no of a budget no seek to cure Sanya money in
So finance minister said Kessben my team expenditure so me the deficit bad down growth rate now your project here no
yeah
and no me the bad down you be support farmers importation of certain products tomatoes and other things they are going to support the agri sector to make sure say animal wage now no it's me bad down and your cost of living no na say ewiem ayeshi anameboa cost of living so no yes inflation interest rate nyina no na across to that
okay
because who ko import in normal the next time no ma be na normal so they do speculative pricing also no on lose the value of his investment some time in finance minister more assurance say you require for stability abemo no that speculative pricing no will be no more
okay
a bit my prices so I dey it me about down na ya so a normal profile there to see there this is now for this arbitrary increase in prices and you don't have price regulatory regime until there's a obiat me job you say we should come and fix the economy we say let's be very frank to ourselves see you're very honest nanka baby you do nanka intimi endru hono but you say yentimi pass you live your credit rating for downgrade investors start withdrawing their money and reserve started shrinking now. People started saving to protect their investment, demanding for more dollar because the city is going to depreciate astronomically. Around here, we cannot get any control for that. And the market, they have perfect information. Omuti makola information party the office let me adjust my price until the next time I China I take your banana my price I there me value of me trading capital and and shrinking so this is a hope by the finance minister or the other say finance minister saying in times of crisis like this say me budget deficit so I mean, and Chancy, can say you're back for more expenditure, and that was what the multi were expecting. Say, yeah, Chamana, finance minister should have read the reviewed budget notes from 2 weeks back, and I'm about. So now we are aware.
Yeah,
you delay, I'm so IMF say, young kati, no maybe so you're increasing your expenditure. Yes, but then you're just speculation, but. He has been able to stand on his ground. Even free education. Some can say you might be trim. But look at it.
Almost will be review.
Yes, we've spent over 5 billion. I mean, Ghana cedis on them. You see, NAPCO, any other things, social intervention programs. That was the anticipation. The market woman no mufi say you might be trap free education. Then the federal hardship because to pay 1,000 Ghana cedi for a term, no, they see with the reason of this budget, one man hope say free education a better day. You better was. That confidence, is there.
Okay. Ghana ni bi anya hoto
exactly
okay
Mr. Speaker
okay abo final words chat to na your fancy minim say we committee meeting sisia enti maminti o kweko on that na your fancy
very interesting so in a crisis period like this now finance minister it may be very bold I can say still now the expenditure discipline and the Public Financial Act, we are going to go according to it. Now, yeah, over 6.6 now, or the minor. See, to me, achieve let's say next year, yeah, 5% threshold of the GDP crown. You bet me, I'm no up or down. It tells you, say, there's hope, but Ghanaians, my country line for expenditure, your tax revenue into me and cover. It tells you say the taxable population, by people who pay the tax, is yet to me the sergeant way and develop a mind. You try your taxes. Na you need sum. Me buy now with you,
Anye nipa.
Any nipa, any or mine intimate Ghana mine. You took one for Bibia. A tax. If you do cleaning for even 1 hour in London, you pay tax. If you do security work in London, you for 1 hour or for one shift, you pay tax. Ubia it's your tax. Once in the 260, the boomer now yes so much. But this kind of structural defects, yeah, you want or your budget, since whatever no there, and to me more. The tax revenue cannot meet just the line of expenses.
Expenditure.
Now you hear way. Until you best yama you need a tax no. Obi a yet taxable person biano, but more than it should be your civil and your constructive obligations. Umakwe day, Ubakutia tax no. Ya dagano for ni also ase.
Okay.
So munya abuchan so amaye.
All right. And the Honorable Dr. Festus Ewua Kofi and a minute day in common one a member of parliament and Rashibidani Edema Upper Dentra East and I think so member of Ghana's Finance Committee in Parliament and pay Nadaruma and a minute day in common. My entire homebra, you ever tried